Greetings, folks. Be blessed. Let's talk about Juneteenth holiday, MLK holiday, and branch off to other things. Now, I have said this over and over again. We would be better served if one of these holidays, Juneteenth or MLK, was used every 4 years as a holiday for the national elections. Okay, it would serve black people better if MLK was once every 4 years. It would have been more effective that way. Part of what he was fighting for was equality in the voting booth. It would have served better than people going off and getting drunk and acting the fool. That holiday, although I accept it because I don't have to work, so does Juneteenth, I would sacrifice that holiday and celebrate it once a year for the general elections, knowing that people would be home and would be able to go out in peace and exercise their constitutional rights. But no, that would not happen. The wicked ones that take up crafty counsel against us, that would not happen. That being said, I was having this discussion. This guy brought up, so they were recognizing the people who were killed by police and whatever. You know, Breonna, Trayvon, George Floyd. So the typical racist Republican talking point came up. They're turning felons into martyrs. Granted to be, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Yet, this same clown would turn around and vote for Donald Trump. What is he looking at, a kung fu movie or something? You know, where they were like, poison used to fight poison. It's the same thing with Donald Trump. The Republican talking point is criminals. Okay? Or the criminality is criminal. So they're going to use a criminal to fight criminals. Like this is some kind of kung fu movie. The idiocy of these people. I just don't understand it. I know it's right before my eyes, but I just don't understand the idiocy, man. These people remind me of that species in Star Trek called the Borg. They're of a collective. The hive designation of these people are stupid of many. I don't understand how the hell they get away with this stupidity. I guess this is just, hypothesis or whatever. But back in the caveman days, the stupid caveman would not survive. This is the Republican Party. They just will walk out of the cave and don't care if the saber-toothed tiger is lurking around the corner. This is how these people live their lives. They ponder nothing. They put out this nonsense and they lap it up like a lapdog. Oh yes, we need the 10 Commandments in the schools and the colleges. Okay, what is that going to do? They never thought about that. What is that going to do? Didn't the Israelites have the 10 Commandments? They had prophets. They had miracles. What happened to them? They still disobeyed. Many of them were killed. At the end of it, the Elohim says, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to expel you bums out of my land. You know what what the beef was with his people? Not only disobedience, but he set aside a place for them to serve him with joy in their hearts, and they didn't. So he says when he expelled them, at least the land will keep its Sabbaths. That's the idea. They were polluting the land. They were expelled. Imagine that. Wall of fire to protect them. Clouds at day. All of these miracles. Birds flying into your camp to feed you. Do you know one of the issues was that they didn't want to eat no manna? They were tired of it, so they started grumbling. So the birds came in. And guess what? They had so much birds to eat that some of them choked. The one who was grumbling choked on the birds. The 10 Commandments. My God, man. One of the 10 Commandments says you should remember the Sabbath. The Sabbath day is Sunday. But you want that up in the schools. I tell you what, the mullahs put it there. I know the Sharia law going to be right next to it. It's just a stupidity. It's only one. It's only one political group driving this agenda. Listen, I don't care about gay people. I don't care about transgender issues. I don't care about none of these things. My purpose is to make sure I drag my black butt to satisfy that day of judgment. So a lot of people will say, Jason, you are stupid, you know that, but you have a point. Let me tell you something. When you read the scriptures, folks, it doesn't point to those people that occupy Israel right now, okay? You're fooling yourself. The book says the Israelites, or God's chosen, would have nothing. Listen to me, black people. All the fight that you fight, you're not going to end up with nothing. So why would you not turn back to the God of your ancestors, the God of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham? Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're going to have nothing here, and in the end, you're going to have eternal damnation. You're 0 for 2. That is a lose-lose concept. Okay? The book says they're taking crafty counsel against us. Look at what they did to the voting rights laws. Look what they do to policing in this place. There's always more and more power and less oversight for the malfeasance when coming to policing in this place. We have long suffered at the hands of law enforcement. This disproportionate long arm of the law. So when coming to people of other races, the law becomes alligator armed. You know, the arm is very short. But when coming to us black folks, they have spider monkey arms. Spider monkey arms. Anyhow, it's amazed me to the level of stupidity that's in this place, man. It amazes me. Eating breakfast one day, these two older guys retired. Imagine that. And they were talking about gas prices and Trump and Biden. And I look at these clowns and I shook my head. I was like, well, people bought houses under Trump for $200K. Under Biden, they selling it back for almost $1 million. Who gets that credit? You guys are fools, man. It's the capitalist mentality that's driving inflation. Just the capitalist mentality. The coefficient of that is greed. You cannot be a moral capitalist if greed is good, folks. No one can be moral if greed is good. Trickle-down economies don't work. It was frowned upon in the Bible. Remember Lazarus and the rich man? Lazarus had to eat the scraps off of the table. There are perfect examples to these things in the book. Nobody says that Lazarus had to sit at the table with this king or whatever. But to be moral, the king should have put a table all the way on the end if you don't want to look at him, and gave him the same food off of his plate. Then everything would be okay. No, you stupid crackhead Republicans are talking about trickle-down economy. Or trickle-down this. No, there's no trickle-down. You have to offer your best. This is what get the rich man in trouble with the Most High, because he allowed the food to fall off his table. These are examples for us to live by. I don't know how many times the book mentioned the rich person, and most of the time it wasn't good. The focus should be the lesser among us. The focus is that, the greatest among you shall become the servant. That's what Jesus did. He became the servant. So you got these Catholics who celebrate Palm Sunday. That day means nothing. You know what they should be celebrating? They're supposed to celebrate the jackass that Jesus rode in on Palm Sunday, because that was showing the humility. This king could be riding on a she-ass into Jerusalem. The significance of it was setting up what's to come. It wasn't no royal celebration, okay? He came to die, and that's all it was. But you celebrating Palm Sunday. Yeah, they throw palms down to welcome him, but they thought they were going to be rescued right there and then. No, Jesus came to die. The next time he comes back, he's bashing some heads in. I could tell you that much. He said he's going to be ruling out of Jerusalem, out of David's throne, with a wrought iron. What you think that iron is for? It's to help him walk? No, it's to bash people's heads into the white meat who don't understand that he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He ain't taking no bull anymore. It's going to weed out the rebels, he says. Imagine that day. You're still going to have rebels. This is what we are. We are rebellious people. You sit up there and promote family values. Well, I don't hear about it anymore. This stupid black clown Barron would talk about, under Jim Crow, the black family was together. Well, your leader was married 3 times. Why don't you talk about togetherness there? Look at the relationship we have with his present wife. Look at how they are. No love. No love. He goes around boasting about groping women, sleeping with porn stars. You guys don't talk about that. You Christians are Christians on crack, man. You dare not call out the dear leader, because you're going to get off with his head, like Liz Cheney. Sack the bobo. Chop the head off. You guys are crackhead Christians. Just like these people. You don't even know how the economy works. Biden don't set gas prices. The gas cartel does that. You wouldn't get this from Fox News, but after the cartels went crazy, Biden opened up the reserves. And that forced the prices on the market down. Okay? He sold high and bought low. Do you know he filled back up the reserves when the prices came down, netting the Treasury Department $500 million? You talking about the art of the deal. You wouldn't hear that from Fox News. Listen, I'm an independent, right? I'm black first. I listen to these Republicans talk about, oh, the black people should be voting Republican because the Republicans are the ones who are involved in abolition. Yeah, that's true. Is it the same party today? Don't be stupid, man. Don't be stupid. Like I said, the Democrats hung that damn dunce cap and the bed sheet in a closet eaten by moths, while the Republicans dry clean theirs. Some of them, they dry clean it every day because they use it so much. Don't piss down my neck and tell me it's raining. That party has racist, misogynistic, everything connotations added to it. Don't tell me as a black man, as a thinking black man, I have to vote for that party because they have my best interests at heart. How could a racist have the best interests of this black man? How could a racist party have the best interests of this black man? Tell me. And you idiots are repeating nonsense like you were freaking androids. Donald Trump was the best thing that happened to black people. Okay? Show it to me. Show it to me. Silence. Always repeating nonsense. Like you're programmed to do that. Stupid of many. You're a Borg. And many of you black people, you'll follow this nonsense. When you go to the voting booth and vote for those Republicans, as a minority, whether you're Hispanic, Asians, or whatever, pick up a ball gag, a whip, and some equipment to tie you up in knots because you're a masochist. Do the Democrats have racists? Yeah. It's at home. It's not on display. That's fine with me. Because a racist in the Democratic Party will be booted out in a hurry. No, you guys embrace these people on the Republican side and try to convince me, as a thinking black man, that that party is good for me. How? How is that party good for me? You erase all the barricades to stop the people who would take up crafty counsel against us. You erased all those barricades. And you know what? Every time I see it, I say, thank you, Lord, your word is true. We are the chosen. This is why they conspire against us. Why would you conspire that hard for people? Imagine, we are 12% of this population for the longest. We're not growing. 12, 13%. We're not growing at the rate of the Asians or the Hispanics in this country. Why? Because you take crafty counsel against us. You jail us. You kill us. You experiment on us. You did all of these things. You know what the biggest problem to us in this country? Stress. Stress is a killer, folks. This is why our population isn't growing. And it's a simple thing. Just leave us alone. Let us fail on our own. Like Martin says, give us access to this great country and let us fail on our own. Don't set up stumbling stones, folks. You got to read the scriptures. If you roll a stone, it's going to come back at you. You dig pits, you're going to fall in it. You see Donald Trump, lock her up, lock her up. Look at Michael Flynn, lock her up. Look at Bannon, lock her up. All the lock her up people who dug holes, where are they now? Listen, I'm an immigrant here, proud immigrant. I didn't know what racism was until I got here. I grew up in a house that I haven't heard one derogatory word mention about any racial group. First of all, a black man cannot be racist, not according to the definition. We never promoted or subjugated because of skin color. We can be prejudiced, yes. Me, I have no racial prejudices. My prejudices are around food and fools. I don't like fools. That's my prejudices. Don't like avocados. I prefer mangoes instead of watermelon. Don't like fried chicken. I prefer a nice piece of fried grouper or something. That's my prejudices. My prejudices is not racial. So I grew up with this wonderful old lady. And looking back at what she did and what she says. You know, when we get into trouble, right? She used to say, your gut is too full. That's why you do stupid things. As a little boy, she always said that before she whooped our behind. But I never knew she was quoting from the scriptures. You know, the Elohim accused the Israelites of doing that. After the guts become full, Pharaoh's whip is not on their backs anymore. They forgot who liberated them. This was an accusation made to the Israelites about the Elohim, by the Elohim. We have the same problem in the United States. Okay? This nation is spoiled, rotten. You stick the middle finger up to the rest of the world and tell them, hey, that means we are number one. We should be gracious. We should be humble. No, we're not. We're spoiled. So instead of chasing our food down and growing our food, we go to the grocery store. And you know what we do with the excess amount of time? We sit around and cause problems for other people instead of be the solution. This is what we do with our extra time in this country. We cause problems. Listen, folks, according to my religious teachings, I cannot accept the gay lifestyle or whatever. You heard what I said, the lifestyle. I have learned through my teachings that I have to separate the individual from the lifestyle. Just like Jesus told that woman that they brought to be stoned to death because she was an adulterer. Yeah, a woman being an adulterer. With whom? Where's the man? Or whatever. And Jesus said, go and sin no more. He separated the lifestyle from the woman. Ladies and gentlemen, we have too much free time on our hands. Instead of we focus on the things that are godly, we focus on the things that are worldly and causing too much pain to people. Why would somebody who wants to change their lifestyle, who is gay, come and sit in your church when you openly discriminate against them? You openly set up stumbling stones against them. You got to learn to separate the lifestyle from the individual. And the other thing my grandmother always used to say, heaven would be full of surprises. So while you sitting in that line with the goat, you see that gay person, you always point your finger and pass that nuclear bomb called the tongue on them, they would be standing in that line with the sheep, and your mouth would be open and say, he was gay, she was gay. Why am I standing in here and that person is over there? You're going to say to God, didn't I cast out devils in your name? And God will say, depart, I know you not, you workers of iniquity. You work iniquity by passing your tongue on other people, condemning people. That gay person, with the grace of God, find the narrow path, straighten their lives up, and they're entering. God is saying, enter, my faithful child. While you profess your piety, Lord, didn't I cast out devils in your name? And Lord will says, depart from me, I know you not, you workers of iniquity. You know why you work in iniquity? Your tongue has sunk you into that line with the goat. You pass your tongue too much. You sit there with the spare time that God gave this great nation. You see, we have the luxury in this country not to discriminate, but to be servants. So when you're blessed, it's not despite of. It's because you were chosen for a job, folks. You are blessed to become a servant. Somehow that's misplaced in the United States. So we stick our finger up to the rest of the world and the middle finger and tell them that means we are number one. You see that BRICS currency? It would eviscerate a lot of pensions in this place. Saudi Arabia is involved. Saudi Arabia have billions of dollars invest in our stock market. And so a lot of these Arab countries, they're turning to the BRICS currency. We are in for a stark awakening, folks. You think Donald Trump or Biden would change the correction to come? No, it's not. We use our spare time to pass our towns, thumb our noses to people who need our help. We use our spare time for evil, and we're going to pay that price. I'm telling you. I'm not happy about it. My pension is tied up in that too. I am going to suffer. But you know what? By the grace of God, I'm going to survive because I know where my focus is. It's not on money. It's on taking my black butt into that kingdom.